Hey guys, how's it going? It's Calvin Raab, and I hope you're having an amazing day today. So there are tons of jobs that you can get out there, and many of them are in demand while others may not be. So in this video, I really wanted to break it down and look at 10 different jobs that are in very high demand right now. This is for people that maybe want to make a career change or just want to enter a field where they can rest assured that it'd be pretty easy to find a job because these industries, these jobs are in demand and hiring managers are out there looking for people to take these jobs right now. So without any further ado, let's jump into it. These are 10 of the most highest in demand jobs. These aren't in any particular order, and I did try to find jobs that are in different fields, hoping that one of them will pique your interest. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Coming at number 1 is a home health aide, and this is someone that will help another person with all their kind of personal home things. So usually this is an older person or someone with a disability that is unable to perform a lot of the day-to-day functions. So a home health aide will do a whole bunch, and really the tasks range dramatically, and really it's on a person-by-person basis depending on their needs. So it can range from going on grocery trips to maybe just helping coordinate their day, to more personal grooming things like bathing and dressing and different things like that, to feeding, and it really depends on the person itself. But this is something that is in high demand right now and certainly will be in the future, because right now a lot of the baby boomers are beginning to age and a lot of them are retiring and as they age they will need more help around the house, and that's why this is a job that is not only in demand right now but will be in the future. There are a lot of home health aides, and that is a big gap between demand and supply. So if you're at all interested in that kind of caregiving side of things, this may be something that you want to look into. Coming in at number 2, and this is kind of landing you a little bit more in my finance field, and this is a financial advisor. So before I made this video, I did a whole bunch of research, and different people have different thoughts about what's in demand, and it really depends from city to city, state to state, and it does vary. However, this was one that was on a lot of people's radar as far as being very high in demand. And financial advisor is a great job because it is also very high paying. And there are some certifications that you do need in order to go and become a financial advisor. I won't get too much into that. If you're interested in it, just do a little more research. But holistically, what a financial advisor is going to do is they're going to do just that, help someone with their finances. So oftentimes you'll get someone's finances and they could all be messed up and just kind of crazy, and your job is to not only sort through and make sense of it, but also come up with a plan and say, this is what you should be doing, these are some of your financial mistakes, this is how we can fix that, and you have to be a good people person and obviously good at finance as well. So if this is something that you want to look into, this is a fast-growing job that no matter in any economy, whatever the world's looking like, financial advisors are always going to be needed. Coming at number 3 is a physical therapist, and this is just someone who's going to help people with a lot of times just body functions that aren't quite working, or maybe they're recovering from a surgery or an illness or something like that. And if you're passionate about the body and kind of the health aspects of it and helping people recover, then this may be something that you're interested in. I personally am actually seeing a physical therapist right now for just a lingering hip issue that I've had, and I've gotten to know a few physical therapists, and I actually have some friends that are going and hoping to become physical therapists, and there's a lot of cool people in this field. People seem to really enjoy it. Everyone seems to be upbeat, and it's just an interesting industry to be in. It is pretty high paying as well. So if this is anything you're interested in, then that may be something that you want to look at. Yes, there are certifications that you need to go and become a physical therapist as well. And why it's in such high demand goes hand in hand with the home health aide. A lot of the baby boomers are getting older, and with that can come a few mobility issues and different things like that. So there'll be a lot of maybe older patients that are out there, and that's just kind of one of the many reasons that this is in high demand. And don't worry, people will always keep getting hurt, so this is an industry that's going to be around for a long, long time. Coming in at number 4 is an accountant, and I had an accounting internship, which is really when I started learning a lot about accounting, at least at a much higher level than I would in the classroom or anything like that. And an accountant at a very high level, there's a whole bunch that they do, and oftentimes their job can oftentimes look a little bit like a financial analyst or something. But at its core, it's all about recording financial transactions, getting them ready for taxes and auditing and different things like that. And you'll have multiple other ad hoc things that you will do as well. But an accountant is something that is in very high demand. And as someone in the finance field, I look at a lot of different job postings and what jobs are open for, people in finance, in economics, and accounting is always one that there's an opportunity somewhere. And that's because every business needs an accountant. It doesn't matter if you're in finance, if you're in entertainment, if you're in really any field, whether it be food or sports or anything like that, some type of accountant is needed because oftentimes for the tax preparation of things and everything's needed. So I was in the health industry with my accounting job, and there's just so many different opportunities. So a lot of people may shy away from accounting. I usually hear kind of a lot of bad press about it as far as people finding it uninteresting and different things like that. However, there are a lot of great jobs that are out there, and I find accounting intrinsically interesting, and you may as well. And if you do, then this may be something that you want to look into, and there are a whole lot of jobs that are out there for you, and there's just a lot of opportunity here. So if you're at all interested in it, I recommend checking out becoming an accountant. Coming at number 5 is a software developer, and I considered naming this a little different because there are so many jobs within computer science that I saw on a lot of lists as well, as far as being in very high demand right now. But I went with software developer. Web developer was another one that I saw quite often, and really this makes sense. We see the future of computers. They're only going to get more important and do a lot more tasks, day to day, and especially with automation and different things like that. So preparing for that future world, and it's certainly in demand right now. So anything computer related is usually a good bet to kind of go into as far as being in high demand right now. But let's get back to the main topic here of software developer. What you'll do here at a very high level, and this will of course be different from company to company. Everyone has a different workflow, a different plan, but you're just going to be oftentimes creating and testing different software applications for maybe end users or for maybe a business. By end user, I usually mean clients or something like that. So it really depends where you're working or anything like that. And it is an amazing field to go into. So many different opportunities. You can also specialize in something. So to kind of wrap this one up, anything really computer related is a good thing to do. I currently am kind of preparing for this in that I'm just trying to learn a little bit more programming. I'm learning Python, and I recommend, just learning a little bit about computer programs because they're only going to get bigger and bigger. So number 5 is software developer. Coming at number 6 is a registered nurse, or an RN. And a registered nurse is going to assist a physician in really all things patient care. So maybe this is administering certain medications, monitoring their progress, and also helping them after they may get out of the hospital and kind of coming up with a plan for treatment. And there's also other things that you're going to be doing as far as, education of maybe different families or of the patient, and helping with a lot of preventative care as well. So there's a lot of things that registered nurse do. Sometimes they'll specialize in something as well. And of course, in order to go and become a registered nurse, you have to go and get certifications. There's a lot of 2-year vocational schools and things like that. I know a couple people that are going into nursing, and that's what they're doing, those kind of 2-year expedited programs. And there's different things that you can look into if you are interested in nursing or anything like that. I made a video about the top 10 highest paying jobs for nursing majors, although that was a little bit more focused on people getting a bachelor's degree in nursing or something along those lines. It does go over the highest paying jobs within the nursing field, so if you're interested in it, I recommend checking that out. But this one is all about nursing, and we talked about the registered nurse. Coming at number 7 is any data related jobs. So in a lot of my research, there were a lot of jobs that had to do with processing and analyzing data. So this could be something like a data scientist or a data analyst, or really anything with analyst at the end. And this is something that's in very high demand right now. I certainly see it. I'm an economics major, and there's a lot of different analyst positions that are out there, and I'm sure a lot of math majors, stats majors are looking at these jobs as well. But the reason they're in such high demand is the world we live in is a very much so data-driven world, more now than it ever has been before, because companies are collecting more data than they ever have before. And data is useless unless you can somehow make sense of it. And the people that can understand and read it and make sense of it are those analysts, all those data-related positions. So if you are interested in data at all, oftentimes if you like math, if you like stats, then this may be something that you want to look into. And there are a lot of high-paying jobs here because businesses rely rely on making sense of that data in order to make business decisions. So it is very much so in high demand, and if you're interested in it at all, I highly recommend checking it out. Coming in at number 8 is a salesperson. Now, I know this is a very general term and it's a common one as well. However, it is in very high demand and it always will be. No matter what the economy is looking like, businesses are going to need to drive sales. And in order to do that, they need salespeople. So this can take form in many different jobs and different things like that, but sales will always be there. So if you want to work on a skill that is high paying, then I recommend, learning a little bit about sales. And no matter what you do as a job, knowing sales skills is important to know. And if you do want to make real money in here, you're oftentimes going to want to specialize in something. So maybe specialize in the finance field, in the medical field, in the insurance field. And sometimes you may be paid, mostly commission or something like that. But if you're a hard worker and you're good at sales, there is a opportunity to make a lot of money here. And this job, although competitive, will always be necessary. Coming at number 9, and I hesitated to put this one in here because it does sound so much like number 7, and that is analyst-related positions. So if you really want, you could group these together and make them the same one, although I did kind of want to differentiate between the two, but as far as jobs, they will have a lot of common similarities between the two, and a lot of jobs will do both the data side and the analyst side as well. But I did want to split them up if this is, because maybe this is the side of things that you're more interested in. So an analyst job is easy to find. Usually they'll have analyst at the end, a financial analyst, a real estate analyst, and the list goes on and on. So an analyst is going to be someone who of course looks at that data and makes sense of it. However, a lot of the analyst jobs that I've looked at take it one step further, from not only looking at the data, crunching the numbers, to going and making predictive models and different things like that, and trying to see what the business is going to do in the future, forecasting, future cash flow models, and different things like that. So a lot of this will be done in different accounting softwares. Also, Excel is a huge skill that's going to be really necessary oftentimes in fields like this, especially what I see as far as financial analysts, real estate analysts, and different things like that. So if you're into predictive modeling and helping make business decisions, then this may be something that you're interested in. And you can also, of course, look at those data-related jobs as well. You'll do a lot of that. However, the data-related jobs, if you are more interested in that at number 8, I probably should have mentioned this one earlier, this one is going to be a lot more computer science related. So if you just want to mess with raw data and use different computer programs and different things like that to mess with the data or really get the data and maybe not worry too much about end decisions being made, then you may want to focus on the data side, whereas the analyst side may be more on predictive modeling. Of course, there's going to be a lot of overflow between the two, so you can group them together in your head, but I wanted to differentiate between them a little bit. Coming at number 10 is a digital content specialist, and this is really someone that just really deals with the content that is online. So a lot of the website content or different content that a company is producing. Now, this can take form and look different. Maybe this is more of sales content that needs to go out there and you need to really frame that in such a way that it's enticing for clients and they'll actually look at it. And another part of that is a lot of companies have big brands, and part of that is pushing content that furthers their brand. So maybe it's writing articles, making videos, or something like that. And your whole focus here is going to be, creating content that enforces the ideals of that company and can drive growth and bring more customers in, ideally. So if you are really good at writing, and oftentimes you're going to want to know a lot about marketing for jobs like this as well. And the reason this is important is because this kind of social media side of things and content and blogging isn't going away anytime soon. And I'm not just saying that because I am involved with kind of the online video world and different things like that. But this really is the future. Businesses have to have a good online presence. That's how the majority of companies are found and how sales are made and things like that. So if this is anything you're interested in, there's a bunch of jobs out there that will look a little different, a lot of marketing jobs, and they'll come in different titles and different things like that. So if this is something that you're interested in, then I recommend looking into it. And because of how important it is, that's why it's so in demand. And this is a very competitive field as well. All right, so that will wrap it up. Those are 10 different jobs that I found in my research that are in very high demand right now, and they're not going away anytime soon, and there's kind of that gap between people that are doing it and how many people are actually needed. So you can oftentimes get into these fields and maybe finding a job isn't as hard as some other fields. However, there are so many jobs out there and many of them are in demand. So I would love if you would comment below, what are some other jobs that maybe I missed? Or do you disagree with one that I said? Is there one that you see as being not in demand and I kind of saw in my research that it was? This is a great conversation to have, and I would love to talk to you down in the comments below. But that will wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. As always, my name is Raab, and I'll see you soon. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. So I'm gonna move to the corner of your screen here. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, you are gonna see my most recent video. And if you look in the lower left-hand corner, you're gonna see a video that YouTube and I each think that you would like. And if you haven't yet, you can hit my face right here and subscribe. As always, my name is Raab, and I'll see you soon.